And a good afternoon, everybody. It is high noon Las Vegas time.
Woo! Let's get this party started.
Let's get it started. No, I am not April Freed. I am Aaron Phillips sitting in for April. She's a little under the weather, and I have the honor and the pleasure of sitting in with voices in Vegas, Miss Susan Feldman and friends. Good morning. How are you?
Hey, I'm kvelling.
You're kvelling? Should we explain what kvelling means to those who are not in the know?
It's kind of like Jewish radioactive.
Yes.
Anyway, go on, Aaron.
Kvelling is kind of like you're just gushing. You're so happy that you're just gushing over whatever's going on.
You're gonna plots.
You're gonna plots. You're gonna plots. Don't ask me to define plots. That's a whole nother show. But yes, we're all here. It's a beautiful day in Vegas, a little chilly, windy. I was in the northwest part of town this morning. Did you see the rainbow out there? I saw for the first time in my life a full arcing rainbow. It was snowing. It was raining up in the northeast. The Durango and 215 up on the north side. The mountains out that way, snow covered.
It's an omen.
It's something. It's terrible. I mean,
Christmas. Oh, Hanukkah's coming.
Oh, yes, it's Chanukah.
Chanukah.
Isn't that what they say?
Oh, I guess.
Hanukkah? Kwanzaa Hanukkah? I don't know what they say. Big flap over coffee cups at Starbucks now. I mean, this holiday thing, say the right thing. Just, celebrate, enjoy.
We need to ask Michael. He's my living, walking, talking computer.
Okay.
Yeah. He knows all the words, correct, the history behind everything. I never look up. He's my Google.
There you go.
Michael Feldman, call in, 702-483-4444. Help, your dad and my dad are here.
Yeah, we got a special show, right?
And why are they here?
Well, I believe tomorrow is celebrating the one day out of the year, which is really a shame that we only do it one day out of the year.
Amen.
Veterans Day.
Amen.
And both of your dad and dad-in-law are here because they're veterans of our fair country, and we salute them and thank them. Mr. Bobcat, maybe you can find a little music in the background. We have one Air Force and Army, right?
No.
Oh, both. That's right. I forgot you moved. So we need Air Force music.
And an Air Force brat. Dover, Delaware.
That's right. Air Force. That's right. Both Air Force guys.
Dover, Delaware, my mother told me, has the world's largest morgue.
Oh.
Yeah, thank you, Mother.
That's a pleasant tidbit to have.
And San Antonio, Texas. Oh, that's heaven on earth.
Yes. It is. Why is that?
Hook 'em Longhorns. My
'em.
brother and sister and I used to have this thing where my brother would say, I'm a Texas Longhorn. And my sister would say, ooh, I'm a California Bear. And they turn around and they say, and Susan's a blue hen.
Yeah. I almost went to Delaware. I almost became a blue hen.
I said, I can peck your...
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, they listened to me, didn't they?
This is for you guys. Here we go. And all the veterans out there, as soon as it comes up.
Oh, they're wild blue yonder.
They knew their service numbers from 64 years ago, but they couldn't remember the words to their anthem? Come on!
My dad used to listen to country western when he had long-haul flights. Did you got anything? What do you want to listen to?
Well, they didn't have planes that looked like that when I was in.
No, they
had the Wright brothers.
No. They had
Leonardo da Vinci.
And the goggles.
The helmet and the goggles.
And the scarf.
Wow.
And you started the engines this way.
You cranked them out front, right?
Hey, but before we go any farther, I want to introduce my dad.
Yes, please, go ahead.
This is my father, Ken Niemi. Man, where do I begin? Oh, Lord. I love him. Every daughter needs a dad.
Well, we can start with the birds and the bees. Technically, that's where it got started.
Thank you. I already told you that story. No, it's not going to happen. Anyway, I just want to quickly introduce them, and then we're going to talk about what your life was like before you went to the military, and why you chose the military, and speak to the young people, because service to others doesn't mean carrying a gun. It means service to others. And in Israel and in Finland, they have this 2-year, hey, listen, you live in our country, you're part of our tribe, you go to training. Yeah. It's also called Jewish mothers, but
That's the guilt gene.
You get the either IDF or you get the Jewish mother.
So introduce our other guest.
Oh, I'm sorry, my favorite. Oh, my father-in-law, Bob Feldman.
There you go.
Oh, what a mensch.
And who else is in studio with us?
And my lovely mother-in-law, who's my second mother, Helen Feldman.
There you go. The real backbone, probably,
The
right?
real backbone.
There you
The
go.
real boss. The power behind the throne.
The power, yeah.
The power behind the throne.
Isn't it always that way?
Shh.
Well, at least that's what my wife keeps telling me.
Well, my husband and I have a thing on our refrigerator, and it's a quote from Sybil Shepherd, and it says, home is where the husband runs the show, but the wife writes the script.
yeah.
You got that right.
My husband's always like, I thought we were going to do it this other way. I said, yeah. And they said, but you told me otherwise. And I said, yeah, okay, I lied. Get over it. Let's go. The tickets are bought.
Here's the revised edition.
Yeah,
the
get
revised
over
script.
it. Here's a beer. Get in the car. We're going.
I just don't say anything.
Yeah.
I said, talk to your mother.
That's right.
I go back to the TV.
That's
Oh, back to your donut.
Well, that was
Back to
my favorite.
Winchell's.
Anytime you wanted me, you always found me at Winchell's. Don't call me unless I'm needed.
My father used to be a police officer.
Yeah.
In Los Angeles County. And he works, I remember my 5th birthday, I was really pissed at you because dang that Watts riots. Ugh, you ruined, listen, you terror people, you ruined my birthday party. I fell asleep early, but I remember my dad coming in and he had riot gear on. He had been, had martial law.
wow.
Yeah, USC. And my grandparents' house was like on Venice Boulevard.
Right.
My grandfather, he survived the Finnish, the 1917 Independence
Revolution.
War with the
Okay.
Finnish. So he had all his shotguns up on the top of the roof, and all my uncles.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, we were serious. Don't mess with Finns. We're like the Jews. Don't mess with us.
You were up there armed and ready.
You got it. And I remember, I thought it was so cool. My mother, we drove down there because, we wanted to see, what was going on.
Right.
Oh my goodness, I thought it was great. But my mother is like, let's get out of here.
Let's hit the road, Jack.
It was nothing that we've seen lately.
Right.
We were there. That was it. We were in charge. We weren't going this way.
Right.
We stood our ground.
Right. Well, society was different then. I mean, there was
Yes.
there was a
That's right.
difference in the word respect and what it meant then to what it means today.
Yeah.
That's right.
Dad,
right.
Dad, Papa. We call him Papa.
Okay.
Okay. And he's Ukki. Because
Ukki.
Ukki in Finnish means grandfather.
Okay.
And it's a sweet way of saying grampy or, Gramps.
Gotcha.
But in Finland, you have to be careful because ukko, not ukki, ukko means, like a, an old man. And if you have a pullo ukko, that's a bottle old man, meaning that's an alcohol. So yeah, ukki is sweet.
See, in Yiddish,
Ukko is not.
In Yiddish, the counterpart would be an alter cocker
Oh, Altacocker, that's it.
That's the Yiddish
ding,
version.
Ding, 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 ding. That's it.
of the old grumpy man.
But with a little bit more of
I
alcohol.
always had a
Yes.
smile. I'm always.
You're always smiling.
Yeah.
And he's breaking our equipment in the studio.
Boy,
too. No.
he used to take apart bombs.
Oh, okay. Then I'm not worried.
And he had a bomb dog. We had a bomb dog at our house. But I want Papa to. I want you to talk about what your life, where your life was at before you joined the Air Force, and what year it was.
Well, let's see. I was raised in Texas, and so that's sort of a fighting spirit in its own realm,
Hook 'em Longhorns.
By the time I was 18, the Korean War had started, and I was visited a cousin of mine in New York City, actually Jersey, but
Jersey.
and a bunch of us got together, and we were going to go join the Marine Corps the next morning after the
Like you had nothing better to do. Right?
After a
Well,
couple drinks.
After a few, we had a lot more than a couple of drinks.
Let's get a tattoo. Join
and
the army.
As
Join the
God,
military.
as God would have it, I didn't wake up the next morning when everyone else woke up and went down to the Marine Corps recruiting office. They all got into the 1st Marines, and I slept through it by being drunk on duty or something. Well, but that was before duty time. So
There you go.
a few months later, just before my 18th birthday, I went down to the Air Force recruiting office and signed up. But of course, you needed a birth certificate and all kinds of other stuff like that. And I had to wait for another 3 weeks before I get a birth certificate out of Chicago,
Okay.
where I was born but not raised. And then I went off to the Air Force on my 18th birthday. And I was gung-ho, of course. We were going to win the war real quickly.
Yeah,
and
that
it just
turn
so-
out.
Yeah, right. How'd
It
that
just
work
so
out for
happens
everybody?
that Ken and I both took our basic training at the same base, Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio, Texas. And during the same year, actually, we were the same year, 1951. And so that's how things.
Lord, I never knew that.
No, you didn't know
Listen,
that.
this Bat Mitzvah has really unearthed the bodies. I have heard stories that I had never heard before, and they're all documented on tape too.
There you go.
But it was
For posterity.
just a weird situation.
Or bribery.
We were bonded then already.
I started flight training, and they said, "Well, you can't see where the crap."
4F.
So I just was flying two different planes. AT-6 was the last thing I was flying there, and which is what was SNJ was the way the Navy called it.
Oh yeah,
that was a little. It was
other
before
airplanes.
tricycle landing gear. It was the old-fashioned tail dragger, and they said, "No, you're not going to fly." And so let's find out what you are going to do. And they found out that I had a knack for test construction and testing people. And so they were just forming a new outfit, Human Resources Research Center. And they says, well, you're going to go here and you're going to study psychology and this and statistics. And you're going to go to college. So
What?
they put me in civies again, and off I went to college. And
Where'd you go to college?
I went first to Trinity University, and then I took some courses. That's in San Antonio, a nice little school,
Downtown.
Again,
not far from the base.
Nirvana.
And then I did some courses at UT, University of Texas Longhorns in Austin.
Huck'em Longhorns.
Austin, Texas, and that was a lovely city. And after that, they started moving me all around the country to test different segments of the U.S. Air Force. First, it was beginning pilots. Then it was advanced pilot training in outside of Phoenix, in Chandler, Arizona, Williams Air Force Base. And then I went to
Is that when you were dating?
Michael's mother.
Yes.
Michael's
Syra.
mother.
May her memory be a blessing to
Yeah,
us all.
She's gone now. And then after that, I went to Florida to train and test all-weather pilots. Because they got all kinds of weather in Florida.
Ooh, Lord.
I
Don't
would
like
say
the
so.
weather.
And we-
Give
Wait
it an
10
hour.
minutes.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
And we learned about all-weather pilots there, and night fighting pilots, and also about air-sea rescue, which I had never, being from Texas where there was no water, and having come out of Arizona where you had to really look for it.
Yeah, really. Jeez.
Getting in Florida was a bit much. And finally ended up in Sacramento, where we did bomber and transport pilots. But so I tested pilots all over this fool country and never got out of the States like Ken. Ken now, he's got hero stories. He flew... where all did you fly, Ken?
Let's hold that story. We got to take care of some
Stories.
sponsors. Okay, we got to take care of some sponsors and pay the bills. By the way, I have it on good authority. April is listening to us.
Right on. Love you, April.
So
Gasho.
Get well soon. You're listening to Voices in Vegas with Susan Feldman and friends, and today
And the vets are in the house.
the Friends is all about families celebrating Veterans Day. Don't go anywhere.
Protect us.
More with our beloved veterans right after this. All right, welcome back to Voices in Vegas with Susan Feldman and friends, and today it's all about the family that is all about family veterans today, and
Vets in your family.
that's right, vets in your
And
family.
we're not talking about veterinarians.
No, we're not talking about pet doctors, although they're nice people too. I
love them.
know a couple. But you have a couple of why don't you reintroduce our guests who are in studio to our listeners, and then you have a couple of announcements you need to make.
Yes. I'd like to introduce my father-in-law, the Mensch Bob Feldman, one of the patriarchs of our family, and my father, Ken Niemi, my boss, Or at least he thinks he is. Actually, my mom's my boss, but
I do a lot of pretending.
we let him think.
You
yeah.
let him pretend.
I do a lot of pretending.
Exactly.
That's right. But it's on a need-to-know basis anyway. Anyway,
right.
today I wanted to honor both of my fathers and honor them, especially because I'm very proud of them. They both served this country.
Amen.
And we need more young men like that. And we stand on, my husband and I and our children stand on the shoulders of giants.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'd like to do now is I'd like to have my father. Okay, I might fall asleep because I've heard this story. He's from Minnesota.
Did you want to make those announcements you wanted to take care
Oh,
of?
yeah.
before
I'd
we
like
get
to wish Debbie Veach a very happy and blessed birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday
to you.
Happy birthday to you. Gasho, gasho. Oh, did you hear that harmony going on back there?
Very good.
All right.
I thought a couple of
Sign me
dogs
up.
were wailing across the street. I didn't know what that was.
Somebody was, yeah, okay. So in any case, Dad, I want you to tell us and all my radio visitors and our fabulous friends, what motivated you to join the Air Force? Take it away, Ken.
Well, thank you, daughter.
Oh, you're welcome.
No, I remember I was born in Minneapolis, Minnesota in 1931. And then
In the cities.
in the city.
Yeah.
Then when I was three months old, I went with my grandparents, and they raised me till I was 9 years old. So I have a little bit of the old country in me, and it's something enough that when I started school, I understood English, but I couldn't speak it. So I think I'm much more fluent in Finnish than I'm in English.
Say something in Finnish.
Hyvää huomenta.
Oh, kiitos. Sinä olet.
That means good morning. Hyvää päivää is afternoon.
Yeah, okay.
I think I know Finnish better than I do English.
All right, but let's talk Air Force.
Oh,
let's talk Minnesota.
Oh, yeah.
1951. It's January.
Yeah, well, I finished my high
It was
school.
cold.
It was cold. That's right. I remember that.
When is it
That-
not cold in Minneapolis?
Seriously.
Thank you.
Right? I mean,
I remember my father told me, you take that 6:30 Greyhound bus and don't let the bus door hit you in the tush. And he says, I left Finland. He says, don't you ever look back either. So I've been on that adventure even to this day. Even till last Saturday, we celebrated the Bat Mitzvah for my granddaughter.
Mhm.
What a big celebration.
Absolutely.
It was a big moment in my life.
Oh, Daddy. Aren't we lucky? Aren't we blessed? Oh, life is good. Life is good.
Anyway, through circumstances, I was just in the right place. We're not heroes. The draft going on, and Korea was going on, and we would have both been drafted. And I was going to go in the Marines too, till my uncle was wounded in World War II. He landed on the second wave on D-Day, and sniper got him right through his face. But so he says, "You're not going to go in the Marines." So I ended up in the Air Force. I wasn't going to go to Korea. Are you kidding? It's cold there.
He wanted to go to Vegas. He wanted to go
And when
Camp
I left-
Irwin.
I left Minnesota. It's 23 below zero. And I'll tell you, I got to Minneapolis. It seemed like it was colder. Got to Texas, 87 degrees. And so I'm not going back there.
it was like
anyway,
Nirvana.
Yeah, I didn't go to flight training, but it was a matter of circumstances. I was hoping that when I got through as a mechanic, aircraft mechanic, and I wanted to get on the B-47s and B-36s. Anyway, I went to flight training, real short training. For engineer school, it was about 11, 12 months. They give us a 30-day version because they're taking airplanes out of the mothballs, and all the officers and enlistment, they were all recalls. So I flew airplanes that were out of mothballs, and the old Air Force guys that just got out of service 5 years ago. And we flew for combat missions, reconnaissance missions, and some bomb missions because of our requirements. And it was scary. There's a certain word for what I felt, but scared is scared. There's parts of Las Vegas you can be in, go to, excuse me, that's scared.
Right.
Anyway, that wasn't...
Long story short.
Long story short, yeah, I'm not in Minnesota
That's another
now.
Kennyism.
Yeah, Kennyism. But I was fortunate to be in the Air Force because my friend in Korea froze his hands. Another one went in the Army, and he got killed on Pusan perimeter. And so I've had people give me very good advice. And I have had the same lady as my advisor for 60 years. Mm-hmm. And 3 kids. They give me advice every day, so I'm
I
very
go up there and give them,
I'm
take
very
your vital
fortunate
signs.
to be here. I don't take anything in life for granted.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God we're here and everything. We
And
have
we
blessings.
both made it.
Yeah. Ooh.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So service to others.
You know,
anyway.
that's 64 years ago that we went in, and
I do remember my Air Force serial number. He was a one. Well, there was more to it. He was a 1-9. California, Oregon, and Wisconsin, they were all 1-8s, and we were 1-7s.
Yeah.
And there's more to that number, but they always got you by area.
So-
And
Well, a lot like a Social Security number is designed by relative area as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Now they go by the Social Security number.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So tell us what. So you were. Let's see. I remember this is coming back to me. You said that you were outside shoveling snow in January. ...
Okay, which time?
You have to come closer to. Which time?
I
Which
did
time? In
a lot
Minnesota,
of-
you're
That
always.
says it
Tell you
all.
what, I was a
No.
farm boy, and I did a lot of shoveling of snow, and I was the little guy that took care of the milk cows, so there's a lot of shoveling there too.
Okay, but before we shovel more.
we'll call it French merde.
There you go. Very good. Yeah.
No. You remember? I remember you telling me. Now maybe this is but you were shoveling snow, and you shoveled one last one, and you said, "That's it, I'm out of here."
Oh,
And you went down to Grand Rapids,
well.
and not Grand Rapids, Michigan. Grand Rapids, Michigan is pronounced Grand Rapids. In the North Country of Minnesota, there is a Grand Rapids where Judy Garland was actually from. But because that's pronounced a Grand Rapids.
That's right.
Grand
Gotta roll
Rapids.
those R's, baby.
Yeah, all those Finnish people. I want to go to the Grand Rapids.
Yeah, and
I
everybody.
never knew that Judy Garland was Finnish.
Well, you beat me to the point. You beat. Everybody.
a new fact.
We had
Isn't
Polish,
everybody?
Yeah, we had Polish and all different ethnic groups that we had. But when they talked about certain, it was always done in a Finnish accent.
Right.
Yeah, because they were like these idiots, somebody's got to be on the bottom. So
yeah.
Finns are good at making fun of themselves. We
We
have a
do.
good sense of
Oh,
humor.
we think
We don't
we do.
take ourselves that seriously, as you can tell.
That's a nice trait that I wish more people had nowadays,
Yeah.
actually.
Sense of humor. Happiness is the best medicine.
I'll tell more jokes
Laughing.
about myself than I will anybody else, and I'm
Oh
very
man,
careful
Kenny
because
stories.
because I actually, in a way, we were talking about in your office.
Right.
I have certain sayings, but I can't use them on. Because, like I said, I'm not very proficient in the English language, but I'll tell you, I'll get you my point in my language.
Well, let me say
It's-
this.
It's said in English, though.
We are on the internet. We don't have as many regulations as traditional radio, so
No, I
Well,
will.
some of
Feel
his
free.
some of his missions were, let's say, high security.
well, we wouldn't
Yeah, I
want
didn't
I
that.
don't want to. I don't want to
I
see
didn't know
anybody
that.
at my
Yeah.
doorstep.
No.
I have a question for you, Ken. Did you do any work with bombs when you were in the service, or was that all only later with the sheriff's department?
When I was a little boy, we still lived on a homestead.
Right.
And we were still clearing the woods out. So in the summertime, 5 years old, my mission, I did put the
The fuse.
fuse.
The fuse.
And then I
know,
run
that
up
thing,
there,
that
and I
thing.
light the fuse, and I run
like-
like hell, man.
And his grandfather's watching him. Come on, boy.
Hurry up! Hurry up!
So then, by chance, when I was working in the iron mines, I worked underground and on top.
Right.
And I was the dynamite man.
Okay.
I said, what
didn't
is
know
this?
that.
Is this going to run with me? Or something?
He's already feeling the pattern.
At 1:30 in the afternoon, everything stopped.
Right.
You get that tickly feeling because now, boy, boom, there she goes, And then what happened in the police? I got in the bomb squad. Well, we had other arson and explosives, but
Right.
a lot of FBI training and ATF training, and we had. Well, it wasn't a job; it was a mission,
Right.
and it was for a very mature man. I took 33 bombs apart. Of all things, 33.
He also is the winner of both. He was awarded
Oh, yeah.
2 medals of honor from the LA County Board of Supervisors in 66? You were
Well, yeah,
working
one of 'em
patrol.
was- one was from the department. On one thing we happened. It just happened to be, but it was my turn. That's all. And we were all capable of doing everything what I did. There's nothing special about me. I took 33 bombs apart, and the man I knew here right now would know that that's the last man I'm going to see, okay? So you better be good friends with him. And that's the whole thing, even in police work. That guy next to you you know him better than you know your wife.
Sure.
In the trenches.
Right.
In the trenches.
You know, I've had the opportunity to interview many veterans with some of the activities that Ricky Cash and I and John Stiles have been involved with. And the one common thread that when talking with all veterans is, and you just said it well, Ken, is that, you know, you were nothing special. You just did what you did because it was a matter of fact. You know, veterans, previous veteran generations went into the military because they just felt it was their responsibility and duty to do it.
Absolutely.
There was nothing special about enlisting. It was expected. It was what we did to serve our country.
I owed them.
And I think that's key. I think that is so key. And it's obvious that discipline for you two gentlemen that, granted, I've only known you for a couple of days since the weekend, but I sense that even in your everyday lives, you carry that same sense of, I do what I do because, not for accolades, not for pats on the back. I do it because.
I can attest to that because there's a reason why God sent this guy to, or I was awarded.
Right.
I was in his custody because, my parents are totally into, my dad's an Aquarian, my mother's a Gemini. It's all about truth, fairness, and justice. Okay, I'm a Leo with a Scorpio moon. What do you mean I can't have it? What do you mean? No? Anything worth doing is worth overdoing, as attested by Saturday night. And Friday night. Ale pies in the house. Julie Martini, Christine Prescott, Mary Jo Paulus, Tammy Warren, and Joy Smith. She's an AD pie, but, that's all right. Just, they just didn't turn, anyway, not a long story. But, boy, we had a great time. Okay, so get back to Ken.
But you know what my big whole life, as a policeman, I saved a little girl's life.
Yeah, that was 66.
That was my whole career.
Was now around that one incident.
I saved that little baby's life.
Wow.
But I was devastated when I lost a little girl. I lost her, and I was so devastated. I said, I can't take this. I was ready to quit.
Right.
I lost a life.
Because as an officer, you're entrusted to protect lives.
Oh, no,
Much
we had
like
rescue, but I looked at that little baby, and I
right.
said, hey, this is, I was going down to 5 o'clock in the afternoon, until you give the description, and I think he was going on a country road with all the dust flying in the air, and it's like God was sitting there at the main street, the light would go green, and if we always pause, because there's always somebody's going to go through it, and I was going 95, 100 miles an hour.
Right.
Save that, and the sound I always hear when I hear something like that.
Wow.
That's when they give the little girl a tracheotomy.
Right.
And then she started breathing.
Wow. Wonderful.
I'll tell you that.
Gives you a goosebumps.
Every daughter thinks their daddy's a hero. I got a double duty, both. I have three. I always joke. How blessed am I? I have 3 mother-in-laws and 2 father-in-laws. I'm covered. I got backup.
That's right.
I can barely handle what I have.
Oh, that's why you have handlers. Anyway.
You know what we're going to do? We're going to stop right there for a bottom of the hour break.
Great.
Because we're in the middle of our nooner.
Oh, okay.
I hope everybody's enjoying the nooner.
Hey, turn it up real loud and listen to the music.
You're not serving anything.
No, we're not serving anything.
Oh, damn. That's
this
afterwards.
This is a dry nooner.
This is dry nooner.
Voices in Vegas with Susan Feldman.
And her naughty fathers.
And
my 2 fathers, my 2 dads.
There you go. Susan Feldman, her 2 dads. We'll be back with more right after this. All right, welcome back to Voices in Vegas. Susan Feldman and family is in the studio today.
My 2 dads.
We're hearing some of the experiences of our 2 veterans here of the Air Force, and during the break, Bob actually asked Ken a rather interesting question with all of his experience flying that I think is worth asking live. I think it's a natural question. So why don't you bring that question up?
Well, Ken, I was just wondering, with those years of Air Force training, why when you got out, you didn't go in join up with the airlines and do your, mechanical engineering.
Yeah, thank you for refreshing my mind. I pull out that tape there,
Getting those
I know what happened
synapses
January
connected.
1st, 1937, but I can't tell you what happened 2 years ago. No, it's interesting. My wife,
Marty
was a pen pal, and when I got out of service, we went out a couple times, but there's a little bit more to that. But anyway, I took her home from a movie, and she just grabbed me. Don't go in. She wanted to talk to me. She just said, well, let's get married.
No, she
like that.
said,
Just-
I wasn't there, of course.
Okay.
But I think the story was, so what do you think about getting married?
Yeah,
My mother's
that's
always
it.
got the mind. She's always got the business mind. She's got something on her mind.
But this answers Bob now. That was a Sunday night. So the next day, we hadn't talked about marriage. I was going to go to Burbank Airport to talk to Flying Tigers because a couple of fellows that I had flown with, they got their discharge on Guam, and then they went to Taipei, Formosa. So I says, well, my mom was in California, and everything, she's living with my aunt and uncle, everything was happy. So I was going back on my French Foreign Legion attitude again. So I was going to go overseas again. Hell, I'm single.
Sure.
Gonna have still can have a good time. Anyway, that stopped right there. I said that we got
the end of the
married,
flying.
and we were gonna go right to Vegas right then and there. We don't know big wedding or anything.
Come to
like-
Vegas.
No, shit, we had to have a Vegas. We had to have a church wedding because
Traditional wedding.
Yeah, my
Right.
father-in-law was a minister, so that took care of
Reverend
that.
Omar Halmi.
But that was on my birthday.
Okay.
That was on my birthday, and that's when I got my ring for my wedding, my Masonic ring. That's my wedding.
Well, you're also
And
a
it-
Mason too.
And a Shriner and a diner.
Oh, big time.
Did you have a diner's card?
No, but my sister,
Anyway.
okay, I don't want to interrupt, but I'll write that down on my maxi pad. Go ahead, Dad.
Oh no, but that was a thing of Anson Bob. I said, well, how did this? Then I had all my because I got my flight engineer's license. I had 40 hours of Mickey Mouse flying in Minnesota before I went into the service, but that was just flying around in a barnyard, But I was interested into becoming. Not that I would have made it. Maybe 1 out of 100 make it, but
Right.
it's not easy. You got to have lots of good eyes, and you got to be quick.
Yeah.
My flying abilities. Oh, I had those. I could fly upside down better than right up.
You did chandelles and all that.
Yeah, I had the coordination. I
Sure.
did. But the academics, man, what you learned yesterday, hey, that's ancient history.
Right.
And my biggest thing is instrument flying. Anybody can fly an airplane, but you got to pretend like you can't see out there.
They
And
put
your
that
mind,
black
that's
thing on.
right.
I remember that.
Instruments will tell you, don't go by what you're thinking. That means watch your instruments. And there's two things. I guess it's surgeons, medical surgeons, and pilots. What they do even now. Can you imagine you're a pilot on a 747, you got 400 passengers on there? You better know what you're doing.
Hell yeah.
There's no, let's think
I'll
about
pull
this
over
for
at
a
this
while.
clown.
So
Here,
Bob
let's
knows
pull over
he
at
went
this-
through that. So he
Only
knows
the
all
birds. Only the birds don't appreciate it.
That's
they
right.
keep running into the airplanes.
That's right.
But Bob knows all the psychological
Right.
aspects of it. It's not everybody. It's just one of those things.
Right.
I always say, well, fighter pilots. There's something else. I mean,
Yeah, they're
pilots
very
are pilots, but I'm thinking the word to describe a fighter pilot. But I think
Go ahead, let it rip,
No,
Dad.
no.
Let it rip.
But
I've heard you cuss a storm. You ain't gonna shock me or
How about
any of my
Meshuggah?
friends.
How about
No, no.
Meshuggah? You know what Meshuggah means?
No, they're not crazy. No,
Oh,
you
okay.
can't be
No,
crazy.
they
and be
aren't.
a
No, they're not
fighter.
crazy.
I mean it in a good way.
They're
I don't,
fearless.
one of
Fearless?
the members in the family was a Thunderbird.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So we brought him to the airport over here, and he said, I forget what his name, but anyway, he's a West Pointer. I mean, a
Riddell.
Stanford Riddell, yeah. How come
Gosh, why
how come
can't
your
you-
name isn't up there? And the pilot says, are you kidding? He says, I only fly this airplane. He says, that's the guy who keeps me in the air. And that's true. That's why the Air Force thinks. When you're, like I said, I was never in the Air Force. I flew.
Right.
Well, no. Everybody's in the military, but the thing with it, there's a special camaraderie. You get this one, Bob, 1 and 2 strap is working on those multi-million-dollar airplanes, 18, 19 years old, working on that stuff.
Right.
Do you know what that means? Thank
you need to get. It means you need to get near the.
But no, Bob knows about that. There's nothing gets up there unless there's somebody working on
Sure,
it down there.
sure.
Or you don't have anything unless you have family.
Right.
His name is Randy Rags Riddell.
Yeah. And
You rock it.
Yeah.
Really, you do rock it. You fly big jets, so.
Oh, yeah.
And he was a Thunderbird, so you do rock it. You are
Absolutely.
a rocket.
And you got to be good. There's no doubt about it. So it would have been nice. But anyway, I would have ended up in China, in Formosa, if Marty hadn't proposed to me.
Right. Wow.
That's true.
If Marty hadn't proposed to him, that's what it's like to be married to a Finnish woman.
Oh.
Let you make a thought. Oh no! We are going to tell you exactly how the job's going to get done, but we're going to let you think you thought it up. Oh, hey, I hope my husband's not listening.
No, yes, she is.
Let the secrets
I
out.
don't go anywhere
Oh,
that
man.
she's not there. And I'm sure with Bob, too.
It's crazy,
The quarterback.
You
over
talk
there.
about fighter pilots.
Oh,
And
yeah, something else.
when I was doing that work testing pilots,
There you go.
our tests had to be more or less camouflaged because everybody that was joining up at that period of time had in their mind that they were going to be a fighter pilot, and of course that's just a small part of the Air Force.
Absolutely.
A
The Air
very
Force
small part.
has, we have bombers, and we had transporting the wounded back from Korea to America, where there was transport planes set up as like almost like mini hospitals. Wonderful work being done. You needed pilots for all these things, but to give a test to someone that was very apparently looking for qualifications for fighter pilots, all of them would, skew their answers to fit into what you thought you were testing for. So we had to create the weirdest tests.
Your tax dollars hard at work.
We had
right.
to hide the fact that we were looking for fighter pilots, in our test questions. For instance, we had tests that would ask questions about recipes and ability to convert recipes from family to institutional size recipes, for schools or for hospitals, things like that. And that was to determine the mathematical skills of the individual to find out if these were better suited for bombardier navigators.
Wow.
Because we needed bombardier navigators just as much as we needed pilots, even more so. And so, as I say, the questions were weird. They were not about the subjects you thought they were about. Fighter pilots, we had questions about motorcycles. And anyway, it was a fascinating field. But unfortunately, when I got out, I found out that as a Air Force psychologist, the opportunities for employment were zippo.
Yeah, we're minimal at best, right?
No, and psychology was a very young industry in the early 50s. And so I had to try to get back into a university setting to become something else, and that's what I ended up doing.
That's
interesting.
Still hungry for, enjoy flying. I wish I was flying now.
Yeah, but now you fly first class.
That's why you are like you are, huh? That's smart.
That's why I like going up. He's a great person to travel with. We've gone on some really great trips. Skiing, Hawaii, a lot of wonderful, wonderful memories that I know that my children are definitely going to remember. And they're going to recreate those same memories when they become grandparents.
Oh, sure.
God willing. God willing.
But not too soon.
Not too. Oh, hello. My daughter was just Bat Mitzvah. Stay away. My husband is armed, and he can carry. So you have been warned.
There you go. Hey, you know what? Why don't we take a 2-minute early break?
Fabulous.
And then that'll leave us, a good 10 minutes to continue chatting on the other side.
Great.
Vases in Vegas.
Voice of
Where am
Voices,
I?
about
Who?
you.
I don't know.
Voices in Vegas.
Thank you. Voices in Vegas with Susan Feldman and family today, right here on Vegas All Net Radio. More with the crew right after this.
That's a good word.
No other girl could ever take the place of you. Though you hurt me, you know I'll always be losing. I ask myself why.
All right, welcome back. As we like to say, coming around the clubhouse turn. Bobcat on the board. Beth behind the camera today for us as usual. And today's a very special Voices in Vegas because we have father and father-in-law.
My two dads.
My two dads both served in the military and the Air Force, sharing some of their experiences. But I want to just kind of digress a little bit, if I may, because I had an opportunity to meet the family this past weekend because we celebrated.
La familia.
We celebrated a milestone in a young person's life in the Jewish religion, where you become either bar or bas mitzvah, bar for the boys, bas or bat mitzvah for the females. And we celebrated a beautiful event this past weekend. Your daughter Caroline's bas mitzvah was held this past weekend.
Even
and
Buddha's happy.
Buddha was happy. Yes, Buddha was
In the house.
raising the roof.
Ooh, let's get this.
It was a great affair, great
Celebration.
function, great celebration. And what did you guys think? Did you have a good time? I mean, the band was great. Food was great. I mean, it was wonderful.
The entertainment was great.
MC was great. I mean, I don't know
And
where you found.
SRO Media.
Yes,
SRO
SRO
Media. I want everybody to take your space pen. I lost my space pen. If
And
you
your
find it,
maxi
let me know.
pad.
And your maxi pad, and write down SRO Media.
Yes.
April, Angel, wonderful, professional, on time, ahead of the game. Boy, let me tell you, I really enjoyed that. And SRO Media, SROMEDIA.com. It's so easy. And she knows how to run your business
Or your event.
or your event.
Or
whatever.
Or publicity. Or
Call
whatever
her.
you need.
Whatever you need. Even if you don't need anything for an event, you just got a question. Like, which kind of coffee should I get? The red cup or the white cup? All right. So anyway, yeah, we had a great time, didn't we? And I want to thank my 2 dads and, of course, my mothers. But, they're not here today.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, they're the power behind the throne,
There
remember?
You go. Right.
But I want to thank my 2 dads for just being my dads, being my fathers, being there for me. Because in this world, when you marry somebody, well, you're kind of doing it on faith. But really, all you have to do is look at your father-in-law and you will see your husband. And the same goes the same way. Anyway, long story. I love you guys. Thank you so much for
We feel the love.
We love.
feel the love.
Bob was asking
Gasho.
me. He between you guys can key me because I talk too much.
Oh,
But
no.
there was one thing I was honored, very honored, and again we served our country, but my not military record isn't any more outstanding than Bob's. So anyway, you just happened to be there,
Right.
in the right place at the wrong time. But no,
Oh, it's more than that, though. Really,
Oh, it's an adventure. I got off the farm, man. Don't let the door hit me in the tush,
The
But
tush.
Yeah.
He's invoking Yiddish.
But the thing of it is, with the record, I was interviewed, and they put my record, military record, into the Library of Congress.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very honored with that.
Sure.
And that represents all the veterans. They could have picked, but they picked mine. But
Right.
it's representative of all the veterans. There's
Right.
no heroism to me.
Right.
You just do your job.
Yeah, well, and that's what we said before. I mean, when you're in the military at the time when you guys
It's been
were,
a privilege.
it was a responsibility that you just took on as a matter of fact.
Sure, we're here,
Right.
but it's still it's a privilege to have served
Sure,
in, because a lot of fellows didn't make it back.
Sure.
Yeah.
What do you think is missing today in the attitude of those wanting to get into the military to support our country today, or whatever actions are
You
going
mean
on?
just simply serving somebody else, being thankful that we live in a country where we can say what we want. Hello, Vegas All Net Radio.
The
We
final
can
frontier,
worship.
free speech.
We can worship a higher power, whichever way we want, and there's many paths to that higher power. We are all God's children, and I look forward to the day when His children are one with Him. Amen. But also, so.
We don't respect freedom.
Yeah.
You don't know what it is
Until you lose it.
until you lose it. And you'll fight for it, but not on terms. I respect my cousins over here for their attitude, because if it
Your
wasn't
brother.
for my brother,
Your cousin.
if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have nothing in this world. As far as I'm concerned, I mean that respectfully.
The magic word is others.
Others.
Oh,
Sure.
yeah.
If you don't think about others and you're always thinking about yourself,
Yeah,
you'll lose it.
you lose
You'll lose
Absolutely.
it. We won't have the great country that
It is
both
great.
Kenny and
we
I.
gotta save it though. Let's
know.
go on, boy.
Tonight is the Republican debate.
Well,
Well, anyway, we always wish them happy.
we're going to get into politics. We're really going to be in trouble.
Oh, that's
We won't,
trouble.
we won't be in, we won't be in trouble.
No. We have the higher power on our side.
we respect the same things.
Yeah.
What are the stars saying for today?
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Oh man.
Let's end with this thought.
Jupiter in Virgo has been rocking the house. That's all. Virgo represents women, matriarchs, and women are the power behind the throne, and we're okay, but we're going to do it ourselves. We're independent, and I think my daughter really, she, when she was up there doing her parsha, I was thinking, a woman of valor. And you know, when I used to pray, my kids are 12 years apart, so I did a lot of praying between those 12 years. And one of them was that if you give me a daughter, please make sure she's a woman of valor. And I don't know what that is in the Torah or where it is, but that's my goal. That is what I hope all women. So anyway, Jupiter, which is the planet of benefic, and it brings good things. It's good luck. And all women, if you are a young woman and you have dreams, you start setting those intentions. Set them high, because you'll be disappointed if you get your dream and it ain't what you really wanted. Go for it. Break the bank. You know, there's no U-Haul behind a hearse. So God bless you all. L'chaim, Mazel Tov. Oh.
I've never heard that before, but I like it.
Oh, Robert Trujillo.
Wow.
Robert Trujillo. There is the U-Haul truck does not follow the hearse.
We didn't have it. All we said is that there's no pockets in the casket.
Oh yeah, but we can shove a lot of things in there.
With that, we're down to only about a minute and a half. So, Ken, real fast, you have something you want to add real
Behind
quick?
every good man is a good woman.
Amen. With that note, on behalf of Voices in Vegas and Susan and company, we want to wish all of our veterans a terrific day, whatever day you want to celebrate and be honored.
Celebrate every day.
Absolutely,
Every day.
because we shouldn't just be down to November 11th as the one recognizable day that we honor veterans.
But I do thank them for giving me an agenda for this program, because after that Bat Mitzvah, I still have mother brain.
Didn't
Of
know
like, what did I say? It was post-dramatic
Dramatic.
Bat Mitzvah mother syndrome disorder.
There you go.
If you have a cure, let me know.
It's called vodka.
Well, it's called felling.
There you go.
I burst.
There you go. So on behalf of everybody here at Vegas All Net Radio, Voices in Vegas with Susan Feldman and friends, we want to thank our guests today, of course, and we salute you for allowing us to do what we can do today as freely and comfortably as we can. And to all of you out there celebrating Veterans Day, veterans current and past, active, whatever, we thank you so much for the freedoms that you've afforded us. No war is safe for freedom, because there's always a loss, and that could be lives, and hopefully it's not yours. Join Susan. April will be back in the chair next week on Voices in Vegas. Join them for the nooner every Tuesday afternoon right here on Vegas
And thank
All
you,
Net
Helen,
Radio.
the power behind the throne.